Alright, hello everyone, welcome back once again to Mania 7Q World Cup 2026, and let me just say that it's been quite back-to-back matches that have been tiebreaker for one, and congratulations to Thailand for with actually winning on the tiebreaker, and Venezuela to be able to carry all the whole loads of stuff, and they've been going to the winners bracket on around the 16, but the fun definitely last a little bit longer it seems because we're gonna have a little bit of a kind of spicy matchup going on here between Hong Kong versus Brazil. I'll be commentating alongside Mashed Potato. How are you holding up?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm excited. And yeah, we saw there's so many tiebreakers. And there was an upset as earlier in this round. We got Australia versus Ireland, seed 8 versus seed 25, that ended in the 3-5 scoreline. So upsets can happen. Yeah, we saw Taiwan Portugal nearly pulling their weight. So, and look at Brazil. You got the one and only Silly Fangirl right there, carrying the spirit of the South American powerhouse to the top 26, and Hong Kong once again showing why they're a top seeded team.
Yeah, it's Hong Kong has been like the top 8 finisher, or at least in terms of like last year, Hong Kong has been showing at this capability. At least I think they've improved on throwing hands, and I think it clearly shows that the both main carries being Zack and Tang Jinsi, and even being backed up by the other two team members as well. It's definitely a strong showing for that seeding. But of course, that we also have Brazil, which I think at most they have been trained and newcomers in some sort, except for one, which is like you said, Silly Fanger has been quite the veteran for a long time coming, and at the very least has been quite a bit of a welcoming back into the tournament scene.
Yeah, that's for sure. I would like to see kind of how the supporting player, as you said, how Hong Kong, they have a very strong cast of supporting players. I think in qualifiers, the supporting players, Sang Six got top 21 in the qualifiers, and that is outperforming Silly Fangirl, who is the main carrier within Brazil in the qualifiers. So the fact that in qualifiers, the supporting player of Hong Kong managed to outperform the main carrier of Brazil, this is going to be an uphill battle, but qualifiers pools are much harder than round of 32. This is more of just sharpshooting accuracy, just getting that double full combo in, trying to make sure you got that consistency in.
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. This is way like considerably easier than qualifiers, which I think qualifiers has been kind of like offshooting from like around the 16 to semifinals level, but this is like way easier to get through, and it's just a matter of getting the accuracy and consistency back. And I think even with Brazil having quite a bit of a disadvantage, knowing that their scores aren't that flashy as like most other teams performing in the qualifiers, but it definitely does show that maybe their early game is what to show for us right now.
Yeah, I do suspect Brazil is going to be banning on the long notes. Yeah, I think they're decent on all kind of matters, but I think long notes or hybrids is kind of they might want to stay away from it. Not because they're particularly weak in it. It's just Hong Kong is so strong in it. I mean, the qualifier shows that they're top 6 in, I think, all but one of the hybrids and long note picks. They got one of the top 3 placement in long note 1, if I remember. So yeah, Brazil, I think they might want to ban one of the long notes, probably long note 1 or long note 2. Those ones are really tricky to work with.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of a it's kind of a running gag for for most of the teams that are have to be playing in round 32, because normally you would see well, I guess it's just LN2, which are mostly focused on coordination, and coordination on early game is kind of a hit and miss for both, for I guess in terms of a teams synergy and whatnot. It's just hard to get down if you're not well prepared on just low density coordination or even release timings. I feel like Long Note 1 qualified that, and apparently Hong Kong is actually protecting LN2 this time, so we're not seeing any bans for that particular pick, although we probably have seen worse bans, I feel, in knowing that LN1 is up in the air right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think we already know it's going to be banned on the side of Brazil, but Hong Kong, I think they might be banning. I'm gonna guess Rice 2, or Rice 3. Rice 3 is quite easy to get high scoring, one of the easiest scores.
Huh.
And actually, they're going to ban Rice 5. Oh, interesting. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, it's still a decent ban. Like any Rice ban for outside Hong Kong is still a decent ban. You're just removing another avenue for Brazil to get points off against you.
I mean, removing the variable that it's the most tech heavy or out of all Rice picks, I guess. In this context, though, I feel like EX1 is I think Brazil's territory to do that. But Brazil's not gonna go with a mini tiebreaker hybrid,
Oh
so
yeah,
they
I forgot about
banned
that.
that instead. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
far
thought.
and far and
Yeah,
away the most difficult non tiebreaker hybrid, but it's I guess that's the way it is because it's just it tests so many unconventional patterns, which I think it definitely shows that the current charting style is not really suitable for Brazil right now.
yeah, I think that's definitely agreeable. And now it's going to be Brazil's first pick. I was wondering if they're gonna go straight with the protects or go something more comfortable, starting off with Rice 3 or Rice 1 even. I mean, yeah, any of just the top row.
Yeah, I guess the core jack they have been protecting is kind of showing that they're gonna have that to bank around having high octane ratios. But yeah, like you said, the top row we're gonna be seeing Sayonara Hanadoburu-san, which faster core stream, which is really pretty much a popular pick at this point.
Yeah. At 170 BPM, I think it's relatively comfortable. I won't say it's comfortable considering it's court stream after all. It's no court streams are easy to play, based on like personal experience, of course. I always just can't get used to court streams. I'm sure these players, I think they can just handle it easily. But yeah, it's not a comfortable BPM by all means. So you gotta be careful with those very like you can get like very like just unexpected misses of 50s in these sorts of maps.
Well, I would agree with you if it's like it's like some sort of dense core stream at 170, but this is just very sort of light core stream, which I think 170 BPM is just quite entry level for round of 32, so it's not too
Yeah, I
bad.
guess fair. Yeah. We're going to be seeing. Oh, okay. So, if I remember correctly, Silly Fangirl is kind of like the main anchor for most of the qualifiers. For the score that was accounted for, and Peppo, I think it's kind of an all-rounder. I saw them play quite a lot of the maps throughout the qualifiers. I thought we Ultra Black coming in for Brazil, to be honest, but maybe in the early game it's quickly Peppo handling it. And on the other hand, of course, as expected, Zack and Sensex coming in, the two kind of dynamic duo for Hong Kong.
It's been mostly the. I guess the thing is that whether Hong Kong's approach to the picks would be just quite wild because at that point Hong Kong protecting LS means they should have a quite a bit of grasp, knowing that the hybrids should do very well on their side.
Yeah, but I think that's like a pick ahead right now. We're gonna be focusing on the current state of affairs. And right now, everyone's still doing quite well. 400 combos in, no misses so far. The comfortability on kind of the 170 BPM light core stream you said just now is showing right now. No one's really struggling in this. Lowest accuracy on the board is 99.63% from Peppo. So yeah, a miss or even any slight accuracy drop can just push the lead on either side of the board right now.
Yeah, it's just pretty much identical between Zack and Sensex there, so it's not really so much of a discrepancy into the score difference. Like you said, it's just the difference between Pepok and the lowest accuracy, but there's a miss on that side, so it's definitely gonna hurt them in the long run, especially on the second half.
Yeah, it's that clean miss that I've said earlier when prefacing this pick is, you're short-shooting your accuracy so much that you kind of forgot about hitting on that one singular note, and that just balloons the score lead up to 13,000 point right now. Now the lead is on Hong Kong to carry through. Still a double 99.8 plus. Silly Fangirl still trying to catch up to Zack and Sensex right now, but it's just Peppo with a one miss and a bit of a combo drop as well throughout the map. that is making the difference between Hong Kong versus Brazil.
Yeah, and this is not looking like a strong start for Brazil, as Hong Kong will definitely take that break point on their hands here. Really
Oof.
good showing actually for a team score, even though it's not quite the flashiest scores, but V1SS is something to take off from Zek, which is very impressive.
Yeah, I think when it comes to round 32, you just need to get that when you're like an upper seeded team, a team that's highly favored, you tend to have a stronger ratio, stronger accuracy background. That's how you kind of made it into the higher seed, the top seeded in qualifiers. So as long as you hold your combo, in this case, Hong Kong has understood the assignment, they can get the point straight away, and that is a break point to start off for Hong Kong. A good start for Hong Kong, and now they can capitalize on this by going with something that is more comfortable for them. So potentially just answering back with one of the long note picks, or X2, if you want to punish Brazil on their LN capability or lack of LN capabilities.
I mean, I guess EX2 isn't nearly as well, not straining, it's just mentally taxing on whether or not to keep up the pace with the coordination and everything, but actually, instead, they're going for, well, I guess Abyssal Cosmos, and I guess interesting enough to tackle a Rice pick against the Brazil.
I think they're comfortable enough to go against Brazil Rice lineup, considering how the supporting player of Hong Kong managed to outscore Peppo, the supporting player for Brazil, by around 20,000 points, and 15,000 points. So I think they're trying to capitalize on that weakness in Brazil. I think Hong Kong can go with Rice Hybrid along. They're super well-rounded, so I don't mind seeing them picking this.
It might come at a somewhat of a higher risk, though, knowing that the patterns do tend to get a little bit more difficult towards the ending, and whether or not the spike is going to be a detriment or not, it's up in the air.
Yeah, especially that like last quarter of the map, wasn't it? That actually no, I got it mixed up with another map that went up to 200 BPM. That was a different map, I think. Was it this one that has a speed up to 200 BPM?
Yeah, this goes to a 200, so...
Oh yeah, okay.
You're not wrong, you're not wrong.
On here. It doesn't say it on here, so I just, like, I remember seeing it in the map pool showcase that it goes up to 200 BPM. Yeah, you gotta be careful at that ending, the last 700 combo of this map. That can be the make or break of this potential matchup right here.
No, as far as intro goes, it's really just whether or not you can just keep your guard up, really, for most of these. Even though the patterns aren't that dissimilar to like the Rice stream we just saw earlier, but it's not really that all smooth sailing.
Oh yeah, definitely not. And you can get a lot of just random drops. If you're just a slight miss or a slight drop in concentration. But right now, Peppo actually just pulling the accuracy straight up to 99.8. They are just warming up right now. They're having the accuracy lead against Hong Kong. Peppo is really showing up right now.
Kind of a little bit of a drop. Yeah, there you go. Peppo like must have missed there, so it's gonna be quite of a hill to climb there, knowing that it's still just the first quarter or first third, I guess.
Yeah, still a big miss though. Yeah, we can just see on the side of Hong Kong right now, just Zek and Sensei right now, 99.8 to 99.8, just absolutely on cruise mode right now, just going through like this as if it's nothing. Silly Fangirl still putting up a fight against Zek and Sensei, trying to at least neutralize one of the scores right now.
Oh, there's a somewhat of a rather uncharacteristic spacebar miss there.
Yeah, you said it there. But still a very clean miss compared to Peppo right now. That's still a 0.2% difference, percentage point difference between the two players. So Scully is still naturally going to be on Hong Kong's side because of just the accuracy, but now it's much closer. Now they can't just let go on autopilot anymore. They have to be on 100% concentration.
It's just this and some of the, I guess the, 1/6% and whatnot, but it really just calm before the storm, really.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, the speed up is coming. The speed up is coming. Let's see if everyone can hold the combo through on this final part.
It's a little bit tense there, but
Whoa,
yeah,
that was the first part.
okay.
That's
not even
that's
at
a
the
rough
point
transition. Yeah, that's just transition. That's not even the hardest part. But I think they're still holding quite well. But it's just that miss in the transition. And another miss right there, showing how difficult this pattern is that right at the end. There's still a bit more.
Yeah,
And
there's no more,
that's a
and yeah,
brutal ending. Brutal ending.
quite quite a score actually for. Well, I guess if you take into account the less 1-200 there, it could have been a tie between Sillyfinger and Zek there.
Yeah. Oh, I just actually matching on ratio right there. Slightly just beating out Zek right there. But I think if Sensei didn't get that miss, I think they would be the one who got the MVP with with 1-200 and that one miss at the kind of middle of the map, a midpoint of the map at the space bar. Doesn't matter though. They have converted their breakpoint and now it's a 2-0 lead for Hong Kong. Brazil to pick next.
Yeah, at this point, Brazil has to pick with the core jack. I do not see any compromise whatsoever given their protect. And there you go. There's the core jack.
Yeah, you mentioned it, and they listened. Rice 4 is going to be picked, and this is going to be a straight-up accuracy battle. Not much more to say here. Well, of course, there's a battle of consistency as well. Just getting that, not, missing. But on the Route 32, the miss potential is not that high just yet. You just need to focus on getting your accuracy up and up and up.
Yeah, no other snaps more complex than 1-4, so it's just all the way through. You're just seeing 1-4s after 1-4s after 1-4s, and even at some point it gets some, I guess, 3-note jack focused in the last quarter of it, which I think it could be something to trip up onto. So it's not really that much of a hindrance unless you're like autopiloting and you just forget that it existed.
You I don't know about like if anyone actually has tried this before, but just try and play all 7 keys, like just spam all 7 keys. Like just,
it doesn't work.
It
doesn't work like that. Yeah, because it's like I mean you can try it though, but at least you can comfortably hit them as if with like let's say 80 BPM, and you can still do all 7 keys.
Yeah, okay. Maybe on hard rock you could get away with it, but definitely not on 107 BPM. So you gotta actually hit the notes properly. A miss on here is actually just a death warrant on any of the team, by the way.
Well, I mean, let's see, because ratio-wise, so far in terms of core stream, Hong Kong has been kind of eyeing it out, but core jack is a different story. So.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, we're going to be seeing a substitution. Ultra Black is coming in from Peppo right there. Maybe the accuracy specialist on core jack picks right here. You can see right there, the substitution is definitely making an effect right now. 99.96, 400 combos in. Leading the accuracy. Oh, actually, no, Sillyfinger is the accuracy leader around 99.97.
Still around the same accuracy, but Zek is also catching up. But Ultra Black actually dropping a few more early 300s, seems like. Kind of just losing the composure just a little bit just to get the hits going.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. Oh,
that's not good.
That's tough. That is tough. I think the nerves are coming in right now. That was definitely not what you want to see if you're supporting Brazil. And now Hong Kong can just straight up run away with this. Double 99.9 on the side of Hong Kong. And we're going back at it again. A couple more free note chord followed with some more denser chords, but it's still quite straightforward. And you can see still everyone's still hitting it. Ultra Black has climbed up to 400 combo, but that just doesn't matter anymore. They need a miss from anyone from Hong Kong.
Yeah, this is the 3-note jack, which is not really super. I guess it's pretty innocent enough to do it, but it's not really what defines a miss and whatnot, because it's so late in the chart, and I think you can still afford to have a 1 miss. And knowing that accuracy that Ultra Black has is still far behind across the entire lobby.
Yeah. I wonder what happened there. But I guess I can't really ponder too much now that it has happened. But I think that accuracy of Ultra Black, without that miss, would have still been really close though, just because of Silly Fangirl's 99.97. Kind of making a potential difference right there, but we can only ponder. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I think without that, the four
Yeah,
misses, that would have been it for
190,
Brazil.
196 versus 163, 300. So they, I mean, I guess it definitely make a difference, but I don't know the four misses that really counts to that. Either it's just forgetting to hit that, or it's just really a really misread something like that.
I think it probably is a misread of some kind. But yeah, that's unfortunate on the side of Brazil. Silly Fangirl with the MVP. Well, this is not a 1v1 tournament. This is a team tournament, and Hong Kong right now showing that they are definitely the better team of this match so far.
Yeah, yep. Combo really goes a long way. So they're gonna go with Higashi here. Hybrid 3.
We're like 20 minutes into this match, and we're already like 3 picks. Like they're really speeding through all of these picks. Instant picks left, right, and center. This is going to be the more technical hybrid pick right here.
I mean, it definitely helps because most of these picks have been running in less than 3 minutes, so there are no other picks that are just longer than 3.5 minutes, apart from the EX3 that Brazil did ban.
Got banned as well. Yeah. So no more long picks, just straight up just short picks right now. And this is going to be an interesting pick. A lot of snapping changes on this pick. So I'll be interested to see. Oh, actually, a substitution potentially. Sangster is going to be replaced by Maftalib. Also had played a couple of maps as well throughout the qualifiers, so definitely not used to the definitely used to the big stage as well.
Yeah, potentially could be a good solution if the other player or at least the substitution could be proven useful for knowing that this hybrid has some tricks that are just kind of trip you up in the same way that Rise 5 that Hong Kong seemed to ban, you know?
Yeah. I think you're right. Like this pick is quite similar to Rise 5. Actually, I just realized this is Hong Kong's pick, so I'm not sure why they picked this if they ban Rise 5. But who knows at this point. But let's go straight into it. The fourth pick.
Yeah, in a similar vein that the hybrids have been one of their stronger suits for Hong Kong. So this should be okay at the very least. Could have been better picks overall, but I think this is okay.
Yeah, I guess so. And to note that if Hong Kong does win this, they will get they'll get a match point into this quite early on as well. So definitely very useful. You can just see just straight off the bat, this hybrid pick does not hold back. The LN patternings and the abrasive patternings are here.
Yeah, it does definitely make a difference momentarily, but it's not really so much of a lead that is actually gonna matter too much because of the patterning. Is pretty abrasive for Mini Jack and whatnot. Kind of one-handed that is.
Yeah, you can see right now some accuracy drop from Silly Fangirl. I actually did not expect that. Pepper right now holding onto their accuracy. Silly Fangirl slightly struggling on the accuracy side of things. Maybe it's the longness that's the releases is tripping them up.
Well, not for quite a decent amount of time, really, because knowing that accuracy, not telling with a miss right there, so might have a slight thing to catch up here, but accuracy needs to be gained much more from Brazil here.
Yeah, I mean, at least right now the squad is kind of centering back right now, so they can definitely gain some sort of comeback potential right here. They just need to hold on to their dear life. Because Zach is still running away right now, a whole 0.3% percentage point above everyone else in the lobby. Maftalib, despite the miss, is also ahead in accuracy as well, so definitely the accuracy superiority on Seth Hong Kong, but another miss maybe could help Brazil get the point here, but I don't know if that's gonna be possible.
Yeah, I mean, Steeler Pangol or Nate dropping to 99.3, which doesn't really help Brazil's cause. And it didn't even make a dent with that miss, even.
Yeah, it went back to kind of the state before the miss. So yeah, no, it's definitely the accuracy on the side popcorn that's really pulling through. Well, a bit of line desync.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully no other funny business happening.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
Here we go. Two 200s from Zach. I mean, absolutely gapping the whole lobby. The next closest one is 11 200s from Math Talif, and that's with a 100 and a 50. I mean,
Alright,
this is that's insane.
match point for Hong Kong, but they will get one more ban to sort it out to get the strategy going. So they have to choose very wisely on what to ban. So that Brazil will be able to get through the pick relatively with much more thought process going on.
Yeah. I'm not sure what they're going to ban actually for South Hong Kong. Seriously, they can just like have some fun and just ban some probably any of the rice picks. Hold on, is that a rice 2 ban?
No, not yet. They haven't rolled just yet. So Brazil will.
I should thought rice 2.
Yeah, I think Brazil had a somewhat middling roll, I think, 54, and yeah, Hong Kong wins the roll, so Hong Kong will get the opportunity to ban first. So I'm not entirely sure because either Wonderful Paradise or Bloody Mary, which is whatever floats their boat.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it just depends how their current vibe are. Do they feel like they don't want to play more Rise, or just they prefer just not having any more hybrids on the board? They're going to buy the Rise one as kind of. I think that's a fair ban. I mean, I'm also just basing off from like qualifier score. Like the closest kind of picks in qualifiers between Brazil and Hong Kong is actually Rise 1. Hong Kong got number 13 and Brazil got number 25. That's actually one of the closer ones in performances in qualifiers, so maybe they just don't want to pick something that Brazil is good at and they're not so good at. That's the vibe.
Say goodbye to Searcher LS because Brazil is not having any of it.
Yep. Oops. I guess that's fair enough. Not much love for the long-lived one. And now it's going to be Brazil to pick, and I don't know. I thought it was going to be Rice too, right? Like,
it's very obvious to where this is going. So, I mean, if they pick anything else, it's just a question mark at this point.
Yeah, put a blunder pick, potentially double question marks, a red circle, double question mark. Okay,
yeah, there you go.
The book move right here. Rice 2.
Even though this is like the best pick they could possibly get, they have to really be really careful because this is an awkward BPM to do bracketing stuff.
Yeah. 141 BPM. Definitely not an easy BPM. Well, it's very easy to trip up. If you want to say something easy about this map, it's easy to trip up. Yeah, and we saw how Brazil, their supporting player, has not been too consistent with holding the combo, so it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle. But also on the other hand, though, Sensei did have a couple of drops, 50s, like a slight miss if you remember, kind of at the start of the match. So it's still potentially doable for Brazil, but they have to start now, or it's over for them.
Yeah, this is just pretty much the easier double stare situation going, but the bracketing starts right after at least around 600 combo, because this is just pretty much the easier part of the core stream process.
You can see everyone just kind of cruising through this, no problem whatsoever. 99.76, the lowest accuracy of the board.
This is a little bit of a bracketing section that I was talking about earlier, so awkward BPM as it sounds, they do really need to actually not get lost in around not getting to hit too early or too late.
Actually, look, you can still see everyone's still doing relatively well despite the awkward patterning right now, and the awkward BPM as well. Yeah, still, everyone above 9.7. The score lead is 300 points. No one's willing to falter right now. Who is going to be the first one to drop?
I mean, Zek is kind of gradually dropping a little bit more toward the 9.8 range. Sensex did increase a little bit, maybe getting into the groove with the more of the, I guess, the straightforward jump trail. But Ultra Black, on the other hand, also increasing at a much more rapid pace.
Yeah, and that's much more important. The fact that they're getting accuracy, this means that they have got a lot of good hits straight in a row. So that's always good to see on the side of Brazil. This could potentially be a first point for Brazil. I might be speaking too soon, but Silly Fangirl right now is doing so much work right now. 99.87, providing so much differences. Of course, it's not that much. Okay, yes.
Okay, there you go. This is the more of the denser bracketing section.
Yeah, some more drops. Actually, Ultra Black with a couple of 200s. Now the score is right back to Hong Kong.
Zek is actually below the 9.8 right now. Zek is actually covering up that difference right now. Oh, actually, Ultra Black at 9.8. There's a miss right there. It's a crestfallen here for Brazil, and it's no hope for coming back. It is going to be Hong Kong's point and the match there. 5-0, sweeping Brazil.
That I mean, it's what a performance of Hong Kong though. I mean, they came in, they saw how there was a couple of potential upsets based on the previous matches we've seen so far. They came in, they understood the assignment of they just need to get consistent scores and let the accuracy do the work, and they managed to do that, and they have comfortably. I wouldn't say too comfortable, but at least they didn't have to struggle as much as the other kind of higher seeded teams, and they managed to beat Brazil, send them down to the losers bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been quite a strong showing for Brazil, knowing that they're not out of the woods yet. So knowing that being in the lower bracket does mean that they had the opportunity to get to quite a bit of a revenge run going from the lower bracket, especially for round of 16, because I think the map pool is definitely going to play to their strengths a little bit more, because they kind of scale a little bit better than just they would normally for early game stuff. But Hong Kong is also a force to be reckoned with, knowing that they don't have the best accuracies in the entire tournament, but their consistency is being quite shown through and through, even from last year's placement, is definitely worth noting.
We got some matchups as well, actually. I think they're going to be facing Thailand in the round of 16. So we got a team-esque performance, consistent team performance against the singular element that is known as Lost Cool, who FC'd the tiebreaker just now in the previous match. And in the losers bracket, I think we're going to be seeing the Portuguese-speaking rivalry between Portugal and Brazil. So you got that to look forward to.
It is, I mean, at the very least, Hong Kong will definitely have to punch their way through, knowing that Thailand as a unit is definitely worth to be keeping watch out for, knowing that Lost Cool is back for another round of beating. That is for sure. But yeah, we have around a half an hour actually for knowing that the next match is going to be France versus Canada, because I guess France and Canada has been quite a bit of a strong showing in the qualifiers, and seeded actually quite closer this time around, I feel.
Not quite close. They are literally the closest. 16 versus 17.
It's the closest one, but it's not quite what I was expecting to be. But it's definitely knowing the players, France and Canada, they have been kind of just around staying the same players throughout, so they're gonna have to match it up with the early game stuff.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. So better book 26 minutes from now, 14 UTC, 16 UTC. Remember to book that. But with that aside, do you have anything else before we close this match, FIFA?
Yeah, we still have quite a bit of a busy, I guess the busy day 2 as well. So, quite a lot of matches, and we only just seen a quarter of it. Well, I guess almost half of it, because knowing that only 60 matches, but we only saw just about half of it. So, quite a bit of a busy day as well. So, at least for this entire block or day, block or day, whatever you want to call it. There have been like at least 2 more matches. So either this one and it's gonna be the other one, which is gonna be, I think, U.S. versus Netherlands right there. So yeah, this has been Mifa, and there's Mashed Potato commentating. We'll be signing off.
Thank you.